The system is corrupt.
If you don't understand the system, it is going to screw you over.
Paul, explain how the poor are falling further behind. How does this happen in an expanding global economy?
The rich will become richer, the poor will become poorer, and the middle class will get wiped out.
Eventually, things are getting worse.
The system has failed you.
Prices in the U.S. are climbing at their fastest rate in 40 years, up more than 8% from 2021.
You believed their lies.
Still, Lindsay says they're barely scraping by because wages haven't kept up with prices.
You have dug yourself into a ditch.
Rich people will understand money and they will continue teaching the kids, and everybody else, the majority of people who have no idea what's happening, will continue to become poorer because they don't even see it happening.
And now it seems like there's no light at the end of the
The
tunnel.
world's poorest half saw their wealth decline by 11%.
It's almost like we've been hypnotized with the wrong set of rules.
The government does not make money. The government takes money from people who are making money.
Right.
Now
It's something that keeps me up at night. And it's part of that deep, steep hole that we're trying so hard to dig ourselves out of. We've been working the jobs, we've been putting in the hours, and it's just one kick in the teeth after another.
Then you're going to see people falling further and further behind because simply the Treasury doesn't have the resources it needs to help people lift themselves from poverty.
What you are about to see may shock you. You may seem to think what I'm about to reveal to you could be all made up, a fictional story. However, I humbly ask that you keep an open mind. We are about to dive into why you are still living paycheck to paycheck and why you are still poor. After watching this video, my hopes are to break the cycle of poverty in your life. So sit back, relax, and brace yourself. What is money? Or more specifically, how do you define and view money? Is it only a means to secure a job so you can pay for your bills? Or perhaps you like to obtain money for vanity, to show off to your peers, a way of making them think you made it. You are successful. If this is you, I'd like to challenge your belief system about money. Money is an item or medium of exchange that is accepted by people for the payment of goods and services, as well as the repayment of loans. In plain terms, money is to be put to work. So when you are told to just save your money with no purpose for said money, I would notion that you need to challenge that logic. If money is not used or put to work, then it will lose its value, its purchasing power due to inflation. Cash is king, the most famous phrase used in the financial world, or maybe even amongst your peers. If that were true, place some money under your bed and just leave it there for 1 year. Would that same money be able to hold its value so you can make that purchase you desire?
Get out of cash and get into assets, because we don't know what's going to happen to the dollar.
Well, cash is always a bad investment. I mean, when people said cash is king a year ago, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, cash wasn't producing anything, and it was sure to go down in value over time.
Let's go a bit deeper. I want to introduce to you an entity that is separate from the US government, an entity that holds godlike power. This entity will be forever known as the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, led by Jerome Powell, is the central bank of the United States. Referred to as the Fed, it is arguably the most influential economic institution in the world. One of the chief responsibilities set out in the Fed's charter is the management of the total outstanding supply of US dollars and dollar substitutes. That means the Fed is responsible for the policies that create or destroy billions of dollars every day. Money is created by the Fed, where they buy or sell treasuries to inject or absorb money into America. So, if the Fed wants to inject $3 billion into the US economy, it could simply buy $3 billion worth of treasury bonds in the market and deposit $3 billion of new money into the reserves of banks, thus flooding the system, America, with more money, aka turning on the money printer. The Fed does not actually print money. This is handled by the Treasury Department's Bureau of Engraving and Printing. I know you are probably thinking, what does this have to do with anything? Who cares about the Fed and what they do? The Fed plays an important part in why the system is designed to keep you poor. Printing money and injecting it into the system is what keeps you poor. Even though you work hard, pay your taxes, and are a stand-up citizen, every night when you go home, the lingering thoughts of not having enough plague your mind. Want to know what will happen if you keep ignoring your money problems? Well, see for yourself. One of my favorite quotes reads, "With great power comes great responsibility. Imagine you have the power to create money out of thin air. What would you do with that said power? In 1972, former President Richard Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, making the dollar no longer backed by gold. The United States then stepped into a new policy called fiat money. This policy states the dollar will no longer be backed by any commodities such as gold or silver, but by government decree. This action is what started the mayhem of what you see today. With more money injected into the system, something else started to creep in. Kind of like a cause and effect type thing. This is where you come in. This is why the system is designed to keep you poor. The value of the dollar will continue to dwindle away, making your money worth less over time, which runs into the cost of consumer goods and pricing to increase. Then the race begins. On your mark, get set, go. You are stuck in a rat race trying to get out, trying to make ends meet to just stay afloat, doing the same things over and repeatedly. When COVID-19 happened, $3 trillion was injected into the system. A supply chain lag took place, forcing businesses to increase their prices. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you think the rich and wealthy are concerned about prices going up? Your job likes to put great emphasis on your salary increasing every year if you perform well. But let's look at how much of an increase you will receive. The average percentage of salary growth you will receive per year is about 1 to 3%. Now this may shock you, so pay close attention. Most workers who are loyal to their jobs and work hard every year are losing money in the long term because of the silent killer tax. Since the value of the dollar is dropping by the day and you receive an increase in pay of say 3%, since your company is so generous. Let's say inflation hits 9%, which in fact it did, was even higher at one point. You are in the negative. So, did you get an increase in pay? Makes you wonder why the system is created like this. Why are they making it so hard for you to just live a comfortable life? Yet you are drowning in credit card debt, constantly trying to survive. Do you think the system has your best interest at heart? Have they called to check up on you to make sure you're okay? You are in this position because of the decisions you have made. Therefore, if you continue down this path of just trying to get by, well, it's going to get dark. You are sitting in a modestly furnished room, showing signs of wear and tear. You are in the prime of your life, and you gently sit on your worn-out couch with eyes tired, filled with anxiety and stress. In a world divided by wealth and opportunity, you are trapped in a relentless cycle of poverty. Your life has been a constant uphill battle. You are trying to reach something, but the system has conditioned you to be who you are. Look over your life. What has been cemented in your brain? The path of least resistance has always been presented to you, hasn't it? So you can live a comfortable, regular life. Tell me, how's that going for you? Anytime you check your account balance, your mood is instantly changed. You want to know why you will always stay poor? Well, let's go a bit deeper. You treat money only as a means of trading your time for it. This logic is why you will always be poor. The great Warren Buffett stated something I have just now started to adopt in my life. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. The system wants you to work forever. The system will not reward your hard work. There are even talks about pushing the retirement age from 65 to 70. More and more we are seeing individuals over the age of 70 still working to provide for their lives. Is this what you want your future to look like? Is this something you have always wanted your life to amount to? You have completely silenced those inner thoughts in your head, whispering you could have done so much more in your life. However, you let fear get the best of you. Let the system mold and shape you into what they want. The more money you make, the more money you spend. You must have that new sofa or that new dining table. Swiping that credit card like it's your job, thinking you can just pay the minimum payment and everything will be fine. So when is enough enough? What's your end game? Just continue what you are currently doing and hope something will change? The definition of insanity states continuously doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. Therefore, something must change, or should I say, someone must change. I will leave that up to you.